Okay. The AP Royal Oak is the new Submariner. All right. And it might not be for the reasons you think. Now, earlier in this live stream, I mentioned that the Cartier tank is like Cartier's Submariner. And I know people might be confused because Cartier actually does have some dive watches, right? The Pasha and the Caliber de Cartier diver. But what I'm saying is the Cartier tank is the iconic watch from Cartier that you think of when you think Cartier. You just think of the tank. The same reason when you think Rolex, you think the Submariner, right? And when you think AP, you think Royal Oak. Unless you're like some weird vintage dude, right? But that's actually not why AP is the new Rolex Submariner, all right? The reason the AP is the new Rolex Submariner is because once the Submariner came out, all right? And I understand the Blancpain came out in 1952, the Submariner 1953. People argue the difference in time. Some people say it was only a few months different. Some people say it was a full year, whatever. The Blancpain just didn't take off. The 50 Fathoms just didn't take off the way the Submariner did, for whatever reason. I'm actually not sure why. The Submariner, once it came to the prominence and the desirability that it has in modern era, what happened? We saw every watchmaker come out with a dive style watch. What is the dive style watch? Well, it's a watch with a fairly round case, has a rotating bezel used for timing, maybe a broad handset, a crown typically at the 3 o'clock. Seiko kind of switched it up with their 4 o'clock crowns. Stainless steel, right? So you could argue that the Submariner and its popularity kind of spawned all the other dive style watches just simply because that is the design you think of when you think dive watch, right? But I'm going to take this one step further. The Royal Oak came out in the 70s, all right? It was hot then, for sure. Wasn't as popular as it is now, to be clear. However, for some reason in the last 2 years, and again, I don't know what it is because the watch world goes through trends. I remember 2018 was like the year of the Pepsi, right? Everything was Pepsi. Even Glycine was coming out with a Pepsi watch. But for some reason, the last 2 years, everything from the high end to the massive middle section of horology, all the way to the micro brands, have come out with a watch resembling the Royal Oak. Angular bezel, overall industrial design, and an integrated bracelet. Often with blue check dials. This blew my mind last night, all right? I just realized that my complaining about why every watchmaker from, there's the AP Royal Oak, the Laureato, Chopard makes one, Bell & Ross makes one, Zenith now has one. We've looked at Demeraux. We've looked at all these watchmakers. All right. Baume et Mercier. And then, yes, the Patek Nautilus and the Vacheron Overseas. All of these watches are integrated bracelet, kind of angular bezel, luxury sports watches. Piaget, another one mentioned here. The Casio. Yep, the Casio. It's another good one, Georgette. And so what I'm trying to get at is I realized, okay, I'm the only one in the watch world complaining about this weird phenomenon of all these watches coming out that resemble the Royal Oak. What is going on? And then literally last night, sorry, I keep bumping the wires on my microphone. Literally last night, I had an epiphany that we might be entering a new era in which that design, the integrated bracelet, flat angular bezel, industrial design, checkered blue dial, is just the new archetype of a sports watch. Now, will this supersede, the rotating bezel divers? Probably not, because I can't see anyone like choosing an AP Royal Oak over like a legit diver to actually go diving. But all of these watches, I feel like, could be a sign of the times. We have entered a new era in which this is the blueprint, the schematic, the archetype of a watch. You know, when I was growing up, when I thought watch, I thought of a Submariner before I even knew what a Submariner was. My dad had one, but I didn't know much about watches, right? So when I thought of a watch, I just thought, okay, has like a spinny thing on it, and it has a bracelet. But now I think we might potentially be entering an era when people think of watches, they think of angular bezel, industrial, integrated bracelet. So yeah, let me know what you think, guys. Am I onto something or am I crazy?